I have just chaired a meeting of the Cabinet where we agreed that the government should call a general election.
The British public weren't expecting that.
It will cost...
Neither, it seems, was he, Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn. The Prime Minister called the election because she thought he'd be an easy opponent. And at times, he has struggled.
You've announced a major policy and you don't know how much it will cost?
But she struggled too. Her plan to make wealthier older people pay more for their care, a disaster on the doorsteps, and was hurriedly changed. So much for strong and stable leadership, she didn't even attend the main televised debate. And as the campaign went on, Jeremy Corbyn seemed to enjoy it. Large crowds warmed to his promise to end austerity, to give more money to schools and hospitals. And then, 2 attacks. Manchester, London. Politics can feel like a game, a competition. Now it became a matter of life and death. The attacks overshadowed and interrupted the campaign for days. They made security a big issue. That might help Theresa May. She's the leader at a time of national crisis. And the British public traditionally trust the Conservatives more than Labour on security. But they could also hurt her, because she was in charge of the police for 6 years before she became Prime Minister. Her record in government could come back to haunt her. Smaller parties have had a tough time. The Scottish National Party wants another referendum on independence, but there's few signs of support for that. The Liberal Democrats had hoped for more support from those opposed to Brexit. And pro-Brexit UKIP, many of its supporters now believe Theresa May can be trusted to take Britain out of the EU.
We want our country back.
When the campaign began, the polls suggested a Conservative landslide. But as it's gone on, Labour has closed the gap.
It all comes down to what's on people's mind. Is it those issues of public services, or are other things like the economy more generally, national security and this leadership question also in their minds too? Which ones win out? And I think that the Conservatives still lead on enough of those to feel like they can still win the day, but it's not going the way they planned.
She says it's the most important election of her lifetime. As Brexit looms, Britain must have the right leader. He talks about a society where wealth is shared, public services protected. Now, the people decide. Barnaby Phillips, Al Jazeera, London.